Hello, everyone. Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and this is my beautiful wife, Corey Silva.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to have you all here. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending, and we've been in the real estate and mortgage business since 2004, so a little over 17 years. And we're super excited to share any information that we have with you about this industry and about the relationships we build. So thanks so much for joining us today, and we're super excited to have you here.
So we decorated our set today. What do you think about it? What does everybody else think about it out there?
Is it spooky?
I think it's spooktacular.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And of course, Corey decorated the set. Let me rephrase that. We didn't do it. Corey gets all the credit.
One thing I do need to point out on our set is my amazing cup that Monica Villalobos made for me. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Very spooktacular and Disney inspired. And if anybody is looking to have some personalized cups made or something festive for the holidays, you have to reach out to her. She's on Instagram and you can find her at VZ Crafting. And I'll share her on her page as well. She's so amazing.
She also did this cup.
Yep.
So she takes good care of us. Thank you so much, Monica.
Thanks, Monica. And it looks like Tanya and Betsy have joined us. Thank you so much for being on today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh, looks so cute. Thank you.
So when does everybody out there decorate their house for Halloween? I'd like to know that. Drop a comment. Let us know when you decorate for Halloween. When did we decorate for Halloween? Do you remember?
Yes, it was the first weekend in September on Labor Day weekend. And we just go all out now because with COVID, we were stuck at home and we had to make it festive for the kids. So that's our new tradition. Labor Day, that's when we start decorating for Halloween.
Does everybody think that's too early? I mean, before I would think it was too early, but I don't think it's too early anymore.
I don't think so either.
Kids love it too.
Oh, and it looks like Tanya just made a comment. She said, "Oh my God, I love your cup, Corey." Yes. Okay. So if you love this, then I'm going to have to put in a special order for you because she's got a major addiction to these collector cups.
The Starbucks
The Starbucks ones. So I'm going to have to get something special for you. I'm so sorry.
You go right ahead.
Another week has passed. And how have you been?
Busy, right? Busy with work, busy with kids, and trying to get my body busy because it's starting to get a little loose everywhere, a little flabby. So you're supposed to put on this weight during the fall, not during the summer, but I don't know what I was thinking. Anyhow, how has your week been?
My week has been pretty busy and I would say busy, always on the go, always changing up things. You always have to be ready to shift and gear things, but I've been preparing for the fall festival that we have coming up. And in addition to that, we have a birthday coming up, which is Nola's birthday. She's going to be 5.
My little baby girl.
She's the cutest. So I asked her the other day, what do you want to do for your birthday? Because, we've already told her we're taking her to Disneyland and we're not going to have a big party or anything like that. But we are having a little family get together with cake and ice cream and a little bit of dinner. And I asked her, what is your ideal day, your ideal birthday? And she said, I want a Jack Skellington piñata. She's like so excited and infatuated.
And random.
I know. She's infatuated with Jack Skellington. I know, but she loves him. So then, of course, I did like this makeshift piñata and added balloons of Jack Skellington on it. And she helped put it together. And she's super excited. And her aunt heard that we were doing Jack Skellington, and so she said, "Oh my gosh, Jocelyn offered to make little cake pops for her birthday." And so Nola's really, really excited, and she can't wait to see her cousins and her aunts and grandparents. So, and she's just so excited about it. So I told her, "Nola, what's your ideal dinner? What do you want?" Can you guess what it was?
Mac and cheese.
Of course, it's always mac and cheese. And then she was very specific about what little treats that she wants out for snacks.
Oh, what does she want?
Goldfish and
Cheese.
Sour cream and onion Pringles. I know. So the girl knows what she wants. So
Absolutely.
I also asked her, well, what do you want mommy to put together for the goodie bags at school? Because when you're, for the parents out there, when you have kids that are in TK, preschool, and even the lower grades, they still celebrate their birthdays at school. And a lot of the schools will allow you to bring in little goodie bags, usually not with food now because of COVID. So I asked her, what do you want mommy to put in these goodie bags? And she said, I don't want goodie bags. I'm like, why? It's your birthday. You don't want to share them with your friends? And she said, no, I don't want them there. I'm like, well, then what? Okay, so you don't want to take anything to school? No. And I go, but you just received like 4 or 5 goodie bags from your little friends at school. Don't you want to give them a gift too? She said, well, no, Jackson didn't give us a goodie bag, so I don't have to either. And I said, okay, fine, girl. You don't want to share any gifts. That's totally fine with me. Saves me some time and headache.
Sure.
But she said she definitely wants it for her cousins. So
that's cool. I love that she goes against the grain.
Yes.
She doesn't have to do everything that everybody else is doing, and she's fine with it. Mm-hmm. She's her own person already.
Oh, I love it. I love it. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's like not afraid to say it, and she doesn't feel like she has to apologize for feeling the way that she does, and I love that trait about her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does it. She does stuff like that all the time, right? We take her to school. All the kids are already playing in the morning right before class, and they run up to her. Come on, Nola, let's go play. And she's like, no, thank you.
And that's it.
Because she likes to be with mommy and daddy until we leave.
Oh, I love her so much.
Yeah, she's special.
And then it looks like Tanya made a few comments on here. Wow, she's growing up so quick. And the crying faces. Yes, I know. She's getting so big. Her pants are getting like high water when I put them on her. Like
she's stretched out.
And Nola is the sweetest and cutest little lady. She is. She's super sweet. Even though she's very opinionated in what she wants, she's still super sweet.
You know who else is really sweet?
Who?
Our baby boy too, Santino. So he got a letter from the principal the other day.
Yes.
So what was that about?
So proud of him. So he received a letter from the principal, and they said that he's getting an award for having Husky Pride.
What does that mean? Really?
So at his school, they have this thing called Husky Pride, and each letter stands for something, their characteristics and the traits of being like a good citizen at his school. And so he is one of the kids in his class who's getting it. And when I asked him about it, he said there's only him and one other girl in their classroom who's getting the award. So I'm assuming each class gets 2 awards. I don't know, maybe 2 or 1. But I would have loved to go and see the assembly when he gets the award. But unfortunately, because of COVID, they're not allowing parents to go. But they are going to send us a picture, so we'll have to share that next week once we get it.
Yes, let's do it.
So he's such a good boy. And every day he comes home and he tells us about these Husky Pride Awards that he gets, these little tickets. So he got these tickets, and each time he's showing that he's either being caring for someone by helping them out on the playground or picking up some trash or just being a good kid, then he gets these tickets. And he had over 30 tickets the other day.
35 tickets.
35 tickets. And his school is so cool. They have, I guess there's different times of the year, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. They get to take their tickets and pick what they want to turn their tickets in for as a prize. So he's saving most of his tickets. He's only using 5. And he's going to get a surprise. He didn't pick something on there. It's just like a surprise grab. So can't wait to see what he gets.
Random choice.
Yes.
Okay.
So super excited about that. And he's been, being a good kid.
So that's the good stuff at school for Santino. One of the bad things that recently happened, and I think this is like every single parent's fear.
Right. Of course.
It's always... I've thought about this since before he was even born. Because if you think about it, even when you're choosing the name of your child, you think about the possible nicknames because you don't want them to get bullied at school.
Right.
So, and I'm sure anybody that's recently had a baby, if you think back, you could probably remember going through that too when you're thinking about naming your kid. So we found out that he was bullied at school the other day, which infuriates me, right?
Of course.
What happened?
So then I picked him up from school the other day, and I got him in the car. He's all in a good mood. And he goes, Mommy, so-and-so socked me in my back today. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? And he also pulled my lanyard on my back. It's, the little things that the kids have to hold their masks on. They're elastic. So the kid pulled it and snapped it on the back of his neck. And poor Santino, he's like, oh, but it's okay, Mommy. The principal's going to call you. And of course, I'm a mama bear. I'm like, oh, no, we're going in the school right now. I'm going to talk to that principal right now. And he goes, no, please don't. I'm fine. Just go home. She's going to call you.
You don't want to be embarrassed.
Of course. And I know that the principal and all the other staff are out busy getting the kids out to their cars at pickup time. So it wouldn't have been a good time to go into the school anyways. Sure. So we got home. We talked to him about it. Turns out after Chris, was probing more questions about what's happening at school, this isn't the first occurrence. The kid has been squeezing his hands and pinching him on his chest and his stomach. And it's just horrible, right?
While he's standing in line and stuff. He's like, so that's, if you could imagine, he's standing in line at lunch and some kid unprovoked runs up to him and punches him in his back. He didn't even see it coming. Mm-hmm. So, and we know it's unprovoked because that's what the principal said. We're not just making it up. So you talk about mama bear instincts. So papa bear instincts, you want to protect your child at all times, right? So Santino's been going to jiu-jitsu. Big shout out to Checkmat Valencia since he was 3.
Yes.
And the boy's good.
He's really good.
He can defend himself. I'm not worried about that. So when I asked him, what was your reaction? I wanted him to put the kid on the ground, choke him out, break his arm. Obviously not. But that's like my first rage instinct, right?
Right.
Our son is so much more mature than his dad because he handled it the perfect way. He was reserved. He told an adult about it, right? Which I think they actually saw it happen. We asked him.
He actually told his teacher once they got back from lunch.
Okay, yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But he handled it the right way. I was upset. I let the principal know when she called that our son has been going to jiu-jitsu for a long time. And if something like this happens again, I am going to instruct him to protect himself, right? So he's such a good kid. He's always worried about, well, Dad, if I do a sweep and I put him on the ground, he might hit his head on the ground.
Right.
Or if I choke him, he's not gonna be able to breathe. Mm-hmm. So he's still worried about this bully, about the bully's well-being.
Right.
The kid's so much better than I am.
Well, that's Chris for you. Anybody who knows Chris, he's ready.
I stay ready.
He stays ready. But Santino, to his credit, he did handle it very well. The principal said that she was very, very proud of him and that she doesn't condone violence in any way, but she would have understood if he did defend himself because it was unprovoked. So sure. I don't know if any of you out there have experienced this with your kids. Drop a comment on how do you handle it?
Or how would you handle it?
Or how would you handle it? I think the way that the principal handled it was pretty good because she reassured us that the kid is going to be seeing a counselor in the classroom and they're going to pay a lot more attention to this kid who's been bothering Santino. And we told Santino to keep us posted so we know what's going to happen.
You look at stuff so much different because I remember bullies in school, right? And I was always a small guy.
Right.
And every fight I've ever been in, I threw the first punch. It's just happened because I was small and I was, fight or flight, I think is what they call it. But the way they handle things now at the schools, oh my gosh, it made me feel really secure, right?
Right.
That they're going to be monitoring this child in lunch line. He doesn't know how to act. A lot of kids are dealing with these issues that this child's dealing with because they're coming out of COVID. They were on lockdown. A lot of them have never been to school before. They don't know how to act. And the scary part, and I'm sure it's a red flag to the school, because this is how my brain works now as a parent, is my kid doesn't go pinch people. He's not punching people in the back. So where is his behavior learned?
Right.
This kid's probably getting pinched by his parents, right?
Well, I mean,
probably got
knows?
An older sibling punching him. Well, he's learning it somewhere.
Somewhere, yes.
You don't just pick that stuff up.
Of course.
So, hopefully he gets worked out on his end too.
I hope so. Yeah, we've talked to a lot of our teacher friends, and they said it's really alarming right now, the amount of bullying and this behavior that's happening in the schools because of COVID. So right. I'm hoping that, if your kids are out, that you do have kids that are in, school age, that they are getting the attention that they need in the schools. So anyways, that's what happened there.
For anybody just joining us, you are in relationships and real estate. with Chris and Corey, right? We're the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending. And we're going to jump into another topic that we're really excited about. We have our fall festival coming up.
Yes, we're so excited about that. So this past week, we've had so many cool developments that we've added. And for those of you who don't know, our fall festival is going to be on the 24th of October. It's a Sunday, and it's going to be an outdoor event at Richard Rue Park in Stevenson Ranch.
Spaced out.
Nice and spaced out. It's a time for us to get together with our clients and their families. It's so much fun. And we're super excited because it's been like almost 2 years since we've been able to see everyone and their families.
Sure.
And
the kids are going to be so much taller.
Oh my gosh. I got an alert on my Facebook page of a memory from the last event. There's so many more kids now, so many new babies, and the kids have grown up. So I think we're going to share that tomorrow for our throwback so everyone could get a good smile to see how the kids are growing up. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, I'm going to love to see that too.
Yeah, so we're going to have the Habit cater the event, and we're going to have freshly made churros and ice cream and
games for the kids,
jumpers, and then one of the surprises. Should I tell them what it is?
Why not?
Okay. So in one of the surprises that we're adding is we have guest appearances from the Witches of Hocus Pocus. The Sanderson sisters are going to be there. Yes, I'm so excited. So they will be interacting with all the kids. They're going to be doing some balloon twisting. And then we're also going to have a magician.
How neat is that?
Isn't that so cool?
That's really cool. So for any parents out there that are bringing their kids to our event, make sure your kids see Hocus Pocus the week of.
Yes.
Because I think they'll enjoy it more, right? It's fresh in their mind. Mm-hmm. And then they come and they're like, oh my goodness, right?
Exactly. And the company that we're hiring them from, the princesses look so true to life, and so do the witches. So I'm really excited to see how they are and how the actresses come along. So it should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. And there'll be a craft station and potion making too for the kids.
That's great. We used to do face painting. We're not doing that this year because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's like we have to keep adapting, right? Mm-hmm. Just keep adapting. But we're going to make it so much fun. Corey gets all the credit for this.
Oh, thank you.
Because I haven't done one thing.
Well, we're super excited that it's coming up, and it looks like we have some comments. And Tanya said, Santino's absolutely the sweetest little man. Poor Santino, it's so upsetting. Yes, I know. But we're getting over it. It's okay. He's going to deal with it. And it's going to happen more than once, I'm sure. Violet says, woohoo, I love your events. Oh, I'm so excited. I hope you guys are coming.
Yes, the girls are going to have a great time.
Oh, they're going to have so much fun. If any of you who are watching have not received the invitation, they went out over a week ago, but sometimes things get kicked back. Maybe we have an old email or old phone number. So please reach out to us, send us a DM so we can get you the invite over, because I'm going to need a final head count for all the food. So please reach out if you haven't got your invitation.
So I think the invitations went out last week. So in a week's time, we have over 175 confirmed guests.
I know. It's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing. Don't be scared of the number of people, because it's a humongous park. There's going to be a lot of space. You could be as far from people as you'd like to be. Mm-hmm. So feel completely safe. And it's open air. I'm really excited about it. I love the fall festival. I mean, I love our last event.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But this one, because of what you mentioned, we get to see the kids growing up, mm-hmm. right? Some of them we haven't seen in a year or two, and they get to interact with each other. So your friends and their kids get to play with our kids. Mm-hmm. It's just cool to see that dynamic.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's very exciting. And it looks like Tanya's just as excited too. Oh, how fun and exciting. And Jocelyn joined us. Hi, Jocelyn. And Auntie Barbara, hi. Sanderson sisters. I think I'm related. Oh my gosh. You're so funny.
Well, then you'll hit it off with the Sanderson sisters.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going to have a great time. And you're coming too, so I'm excited. I can't wait to see you this week for Nola's birthday. It's been a long time.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I have to give a shout out to our event planner who's helping me with it. It's Alicia C. Creative, Madi, and her assistant, Claudia. Thank you so much for helping me out. They're helping me put all the little details in to the event and making sure it's a lot of fun.
Oh, and give a shout out to our photo booth
Oh, Snaptastic. Yes.
Because they are Snaptastic.
Yes, Monica and Shell, they'll be there. So we will have a photo booth as well. And we're going to have individualized little props. So you don't have to worry about sharing a prop to put on your face with COVID and all. And so the kids could have fun and make it really spooky and fun with the pictures. So
it's going to be a good time.
So exciting. So one of the other main things we're doing there is a raffle. So yes. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen with the raffle there? How do people get raffle tickets once they're at the event?
Sure. So there's 2 ways to get raffle tickets. If you bring a donation for Give a Turkey event, which we'll talk about later, that's one way to get a ticket. And another way to get a ticket is we are going to have a booth there set up where you can come and give a testimonial.
Oh, that's awesome.
Of, your experience with us. And you'll get a raffle ticket that way as well. And I'm excited to see what prizes we have because I don't know yet.
We haven't got them.
We'll get them.
We'll be just as surprised as you when we announce them at the event. Oh, so if anybody who is actually on social media and follows us, I'm not sure if you saw, but the other day, Chris went to the Growl Center at the PAWs Center over at Golden Valley High School. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart.
It's okay.
And we were able to donate a barbecue so they could help out with the kids and the kids could get together and make food together.
It's pretty neat. So PAWs Center is one thing. Growl Center is completely different. Again, this is a mental wellness center for kids at Golden Valley High School, and they visit during their passing periods. And it's completely quiet in there. I mean, there are kids interacting, but they're whispering. It's a place for them to really work on their mental health, right? If they're feeling anxious, which a lot of us do every single day.
Yes.
Right? Especially in high school. There's so many pressures in high school. So this is a way for them to invite their parents over. So I was talking to Marianne there and talking to April, and they were so excited. They're saying, one, it's going to be a project just for the kids to put the barbecue together, right? They didn't even want us to put it together. They want to put it together with the kids. And then 2, that now they can start having workshops with the parents and having them cook with their kids and just try to teach them some life skills and get that togetherness at the Growl Center. And it's outdoors, so it's going to be a lot of fun, especially barbecuing with this weather. The weather's been amazing.
Oh, it's so nice. Oh, I love that. It's such a good feeling to be able to be with other people and making food. And there's something just so, I don't know, for me, it's magical for people to get together and just create. So
sure,
it'll be a lot of fun.
We also had Jocelyn join us. Hey, Jocelyn, thanks for joining us. We're going to be taking a small break here pretty soon. So is there anything else you want to mention before we take a break?
Yeah, so at the Growl Center, they are going to need some additional donations. And I noticed on social media that they're planning on putting together a garden, which that is right up my alley. I love gardening and the kids love gardening. And I mean, Santino the other day said, Mom, I'm so happy we have a garden. It makes me feel really good. So that's, that made me think of the Growl Center and how many kids can really have a positive effect from the gardening. Yes, for sure.
Our 6-year-old gets it.
He gets it, yes. So if anybody wants to provide any donations, please reach out to us. We'd love to get that over there for them. We have some soil we're going to be taking over there and some seedlings and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So
we're always taking stuff over there.
Yeah,
we're going to continue to do so.
Anyways, so thank you all for joining us here on R&R Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Corey Silva, and this is my handsome husband, Christopher Silva. And we're the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back shortly.
Welcome back to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and this is my beautiful wife, Corey Silva.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back on with us here today. Corey and I. Oh, what is wrong with me today?
It's almost like we're the same person. Corey and Chris.
I don't even understand.
Chris and Corey. You're doing great.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Is something spooky going on? I don't know. Is there a full moon or something?
No. There's not. But why don't you go ahead and say hello to everybody that's joined us?
I would love to say hello to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. It looks like Urvashi is on here. Hi, Urvashi.
Thank you, Urvashi, for joining us. This has been a few weeks in a row that you've been with us here, and we really appreciate your support.
And the same for Christian.
Oh.
He's on too, and I know he's working hard today funding loans, so thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes.
And then Violet, you're working hard. I know, you need a little break, huh?
That's really cool. She's watching us while she's at work.
I know. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's a big deal for people to show up for us, and we really, really, really appreciate you all. So thanks for being here. So let's transition a little bit to real estate.
Are you ready? You really want to talk about real estate?
I would love to talk about real estate. And hi to everybody else who's watching but hasn't made a comment yet.
Yeah, we've learned before we get into real estate, I was at, kind of real estate related. I was at a real estate mixer. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of agents, real estate agents that were there, because that's the kind of mixer it was, agents, loan officers. I had at least 6 agents come up to me at the mixer and say that they all watched the show.
Oh, awesome. So if they're not here live, maybe they're watching after.
On IG, they can catch little snippets on IG, or they can go back on the YouTube page and watch us there on the Silva Realty YouTube page.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This means a lot to us, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're so thankful. We're so grateful. The idea of it is just, we want everybody to see your beautiful face.
Oh,
You're always Oz behind the scenes, pulling all the strings, and I'm just dancing around. So it's cool that people get to see you and realize how much you do for us at home in the Silva household, right? Me, Nola, Tino, and then also for Silva Realty, Silva Lending. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. You do so much for us as well and our clients. So thanks for keeping everybody happy. So real estate, a lot of things have been coming up in real estate lately, right? Some changes. I know recently with the COVID mandates that are coming out, we know they have become political, but that's not where we want to take this discussion. We want to talk about some real world scenarios and how that's affecting the real estate market. So Chris received a few phone calls in the last week from clients who are facing this mandate. And I don't know if maybe you want to share some of your experience with that.
I do. So if people are out there don't know what we're talking about, so these mandates are companies that are saying you have to get vaccinated. And if you don't get vaccinated by whatever date, let's just say December 1st, you no longer will be working for our company. So I got a call from a really great friend of ours who said his friend needed some help, and I talked to him. I'm not going to say the company that they're working for, but they've been at the same company for 32 years.
Wow.
32 years. That's you're giving a big chunk of your life to that company. Mm-hmm. And their religious beliefs, they don't believe in the vaccine. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to respect that. And they're getting laid off for it.
Wow. So
that was the first call. They're going to pick up, sell, move out of state. Probably, Texas is an option. Tennessee is another big option. We're seeing a lot of people move to these 2 states in particular. Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't enough, if that's just, out of thin air, I got another call yesterday, same call. Right. Now how long has he been, we're not going to say his name, but how long has he been at his company? Longer than 30 years, correct?
At least 35, maybe 40 years.
Maybe 40 years. So this gentleman comes from another country, came to the United States. This is his first and only job he's ever had.
Wow.
Which is amazing, mm-hmm. right? And I can't remember if he was an architect. There was something that he did back in his country, and then he came here, and the easiest way for him to get a job was to get into automotive.
Right.
Which he learned after knowing a whole other profession, right? Imagine me doing automotive.
Oh, no.
I'm so terrible with my hands. But anyhow, he's been at his company, I want to say closer to 40 years, and he's getting the same ultimatum.
Right.
Right. And his words, not mine, is that he left the country he was living in, that he was born in, because he wanted to pursue his freedoms. Mm-hmm. And now he has to leave California for the same reason. So he's also thinking about Texas, Tennessee. Those are really hot states.
Right. For people to move from California.
So something to think about those states, though. And I'll get into this on a different show. People are talking about investing out of state. Mm-hmm. But those two particular states are extremely hot because don't care what politics you're into, but they are definitely more red states. And people are looking for that, right? Mm-hmm. Businesses are looking for that because they want to make sure they stay open if there's another lockdown.
Right.
People want to make sure that their kids can go to school without a mask, which, again, doesn't matter what side you fall on, but this is happening. Mm-hmm. So people need to know about it. So these states, their property values are skyrocketing.
Right, right. Well, how do you think that's going to affect the California market? Is what I'm more concerned about is, do you foresee a lot of people fleeing here, and maybe that can affect the affordability for people who are choosing to stay?
Okay. Let me peel back that onion, right? Mm-hmm. Because you had a couple questions in there. So yes, that is going to give us some more inventory, but is it going to give us enough inventory that we're going to notice? Probably not. Okay, because if you think about California, we're as blue as it gets. Mm-hmm. We're a very liberal, democratic state, let alone Los Angeles for a city, right? Mm-hmm. The reason that's important, again, politics don't matter, but it's important because the people that are leaving to go to Republican states and cities. Mm-hmm. So my point is, there's probably not very many, right, that are leaving. So I don't think it's going to be enough to make a dent in the supply of homes. Okay. But there definitely will be more supply. Okay. But even our clients that I talk to, they want to wait until January-ish mm-hmm. to get their house on the market because, one, they want to get it ready. And they still, even though they might not have a job soon, they still don't want to leave during the holiday season. Makes sense. So it's not bringing a bunch of inventory right now is my point. Okay. So, but yes, maybe later I'll bring some inventory. And what was your other question?
That was just the main point. Like, how do you think it'll affect our market here with people moving? Because that's what I was more concerned about. California market. I don't even think I think it's a small little dent in your car, in the car door, like just a little tiny dent. Because I think that's what people want to know. Like, oh, does this mean that I'm going to be able to afford a home now? Like, people who are living here, they want to know, like, when can I get into the property for the buyers who've been waiting on the sidelines? So that was why I asked that question. Sure. So we're getting calls on that too, and this is something that we'll probably talk about on a later show as well. But lending is changing, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but the reason I bring that up is it's going to give buyers an opportunity that say, I can't afford a house now. Mm-hmm. It might give them an opportunity to buy a house in the next few months here because they're loosening up guidelines or coming up with stuff that you can afford more of a home purchase mm-hmm. with the same amount of money that you make now. Yeah. There's so many new loan programs available that you can qualify over not even having your employment verified. So it's really interesting to see how the lending industry is changing and loosening up their guidelines and how that will affect the real estate market as well. If you've been in the business 17 years like we have, it's almost full circle, right? And for people thinking that they're waiting for the market to crash, I bring this up every week because we know so many people like that. Yeah, not just one or two. It's going to crash. Tons of people that are hoping there's an earthquake. Like, right. I get that all the time. Like, when's that earthquake going to come so I can buy my house? I'm like, what? So yeah, we get those all the time too. So for people that think that it's going to crash, what happened last cycle when the market went insane, and when I say last cycle, I'm talking about 2004, 5, 6, right? Is as the market slowed down a little bit, these new lending options came out, mm-hmm. Pay option arms and interest-only loans mm-hmm. and 40-year loans and stated loans. And they're slowly coming back, people. They're creeping back, and it's spooky, right? Because they are coming back. We're seeing the 40-year loan, 10-year interest only.
That means if you're buying an $800,000 house and you're putting 5% down, your payment might only be $3,500. Well, if you go rent that house, you're going to spend $4,500. It's going to cost you less money to purchase than it would to rent.
Right.
So that's going to drive the market. So for people thinking there's no inventory now, it's only going to get worse.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to get worse before it gets better, because as these lending options keep coming out, it's going to bring more buyers in. Mm-hmm. And where's the supply going to come from? We have a shortage. The builders can't build fast enough. The goods...
They're stuck in a port somewhere.
They're stuck in a port. And the goods that we have here, the prices are skyrocketing. Mm-hmm. So if you go buy a new construction, by the way, there's a little clause in there that if you go to Lennar, you might not know to read it because you don't have an agent representing you. But there's a little clause in there that they could change the price on you.
Oh, my gosh.
Based on the price of goods.
Oh, my gosh.
Just want to throw that out there. Make sure you have a realtor represent you at all times.
At all times. Well, thank you for sharing all that information. Now, you did kind of touch a little bit about investing out of state.
Sure.
Because I'm sure that's a thought on people's minds. If I can't afford California to invest and I have some equity that I want to put somewhere, where can I put it? And you and I have talked about this and about investing out of state in a place that's a lot more affordable, where the rents will help take care of whatever costs we have. And we actually do have a rental property in Texas, of all places, San Antonio.
For like 14 years or something.
And, we bought in a place where we didn't see a lot of appreciation, just like slow and steady over time.
Right. But our goal was different. Our goal was we needed a tax write-off. Mm-hmm. So talk to a CPA, but when you have a rental, almost everything's a tax write-off on the rental property.
On the property, yes.
Okay. We didn't want to have a lot of exposure, a lot of risk. What do I mean by that? Well, if you buy a house in California for an investment, you're paying at least $500,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you miss a couple months rent, you're going to be in trouble.
Right.
You're going to have to come out of pocket for that money. Also in California, the laws are tailored towards tenants. They're not beneficial to landlords. We know that personally. Really quick on that. Remember, we thought we were hot shots in our 20s. So the last time the market was this hot, we were kind of feeling ourselves. We were like, oh my God, we could do flips. And we didn't know what we were doing. We were in our 20s.
Yeah, we didn't have kids. So I think we're a little bit more adventurous with our investing habits.
If you can imagine somebody in Vegas going up to a table and every time they win, they just put it all right back in. Let it ride. Yeah. Here, take my watch. That was us in our 20s. We just had no sense, and we were just willing to keep investing until we got burned, right? And we got burned because we got the wrong tenants into a property. They paid us first month, last month, security deposit.
And 1 month worth of rent, I think.
Well, just that's it. First
and that
month,
was it.
Last month, security deposit.
No, they paid 1 month after that.
Did they pay 1 month after that? And then they didn't pay us again. So I actually just met with the real estate attorney in one of our groups. Evictions taken back from March, that the landlord wants to take the tenant to court, right, to get them out of the property because they're not paying rent. She's now going to court in October.
Oh, wow.
In October for something that happened in March. So the point is, if you're in California and you want to invest here, you might not make, your tenant might not make a payment for a year. Do you have that money in your reserves to withstand that storm, right? So we don't want to be in that situation. We want to continue to invest in real estate. So for that specific house in Texas, we're even thinking about possibly selling that house. We've thought about it.
We've thought about it, but
maybe not.
My idea is to keep that house because it's in San Antonio and Austin is growing so big. And I'm just thinking that market is going to just be so unattainable for a lot of people that maybe one day it'll go out to San Antonio.
Hopefully.
The outskirts of San Antonio. So that's why I'm just like, we've already waited this long. Let's just let it ride. So these are the things that we go back and forth on. Should we keep it? Should we not?
But the point is we're looking at a state. So I like those states too. I like Tennessee. I like certain areas of Tennessee. I like Indiana. I know that's crazy, but there's a lot of people from Chicago that can't afford housing there that are moving to Indiana. It's not too far away, similar weather, right? And stuff's really affordable out there. You could buy a 4-unit property for like 200 grand.
Oh my goodness.
So if we're going out there, we can go out there and try to cash flow. And that's something else. If anybody wants to talk about the difference between cash flow and properties and appreciation, usually it's not, you don't get both. Sometimes you do, but not all the time. Anyhow, that's what we're looking into. We're getting those calls. Right before the show, I got a phone call from a client, great client of ours, that says, hey, I'm thinking about refinancing because I have a ton of equity in my house. I want to take about 100 grand out, maybe a little bit more, and I want to invest in rental property out of state.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. So if anybody's thinking about doing that, we could definitely help you with that. We could help you with the refi, take cash out, and find an agent for you out of state. Unfortunately, we're only licensed in California, but we can definitely do the legwork for you and find a really good agent for you in whatever area you're looking to purchase. And we might know one personally after we purchase something.
Absolutely. And it looks like Urvashi had a question in relation to that. How do you maintain properties from so far away? That's a great question. So there are property management companies. So for our particular property, we do have a property management company we've had since we obtained the property. Are they the best? Probably not. We've had our issues with them, but that's how the name of the game. When you're dealing with anyone, you're going to have some issues, but it's a learning curve. And but yeah, that's how you would maintain the property, is by hiring a property management company. Generally, they take about 8 to 10% on the rental income. So hopefully that answered your questions.
And again, that's tax deductible. So they take that money, that's fine. Let them take their cut. But to give you an idea, you have to have the stomach to invest out of state. We've had this house for 14 years. I've seen it this many times. I've never seen the house before. I don't care to see the house. I just care that the check from the renters come in every single month, and they continue to pay our mortgage for us. And renters are gonna pay that house off for us. And our initial investment was like 10% of 150 grand.
Right.
So, and that's a property that, according to Corey, we're never gonna sell, and it's going to be part of our retirement plan. You know, we'll continue to get $1,500, $2,000, whatever it is at the time when we're retired, every single month, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. I look at it as like over time, it'll help out with the kids' education or what have you.
Oh no, so they better get scholarships. I'm not giving them a dime. No, I'm kidding.
You're kidding. So speaking of like having ideas about where you want to invest, have you started your goals yet?
Yeah. We're really big on writing down your goals on paper, whatever. Writing down your goals. That's how can you get to a certain place if you don't have a plan to get there, right? So every year we have goals, and after the third quarter, so right around now, we actually just started talking about it. Hey, we got to start working on our goals for 2022, and then we got to see where we're at with our goals for this year. And we're pretty close to hitting our goals for this year already. But there's 3 types of goals, right? I have my goal with my personal faith. So I want to make sure I'm praying every single night. And sometimes I slack on that. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my family. So what I mean by that is it doesn't mean going and making money and bringing money home. That's not taking care of your family all by itself. It means spending the time with my wife, with Corey, with my kids, when I don't want to, when I'm dead tired from work and you get home and so I have goals in that. I want to continue to build stronger bonds with Corey and with my kids every single year. So I have my own personal goals for that. And then, of course, I have the goals for Silva Realty, Silva Lending, to grow. And lastly, this thing right here. I'll be working on that. But I don't care about a 6-pack. I just really want to be more flexible than anything. But those are some of my goals.
Well, thank you for sharing some of your goals with us all. Do any of you guys start planning your goals this early, or do you wait till December, or some of you just getting started in January at the new year? I'm curious to know. And yeah, I'm excited about our goals because, every year we have something set, and it's great to feel that accomplishment when you're heading toward like the finish line. You're like, we're almost there. And just to be able to check all those off at the end of the year, it's a good feeling.
Right. The one goal that makes me sad is we had a goal of taking a 4-week vacation, which we did, but it was in January. It feels like it was 3 years ago. So like, I feel like I need a vacation now. but we already did it in January.
Well, there's always next year.
It's on my goals list to take another 4-week vacation. So we just got to figure out where we're going.
Yep, that'll be fun. Hopefully Hawaii, that'll be a lot of fun. So Chris and I have been also toying around with a few other things in our house. So, with over time, your house needs some little upgrading, right? Like some updating with the paint. Recently, we just got a new water heater, and now we're coming to a crossroad. Do we want to give the kids their own bedroom? And we asked them, do you want to have your own bedroom? And they're like, no, we want to share our bed still. They don't want to be apart from each other. They don't want their own separate space. But Chris and I are considering relocating our office to our downstairs area where their playroom is. And so I don't know, that it's just it's a lot to take in. It's overwhelming. You're excited. You want to do all these new things to your house. You're envisioning, you're looking around, you're like, wow, this is going to be amazing. And then reality sets in and you're like, where am I going to find someone to do this for us? Where's that contractor who's going to show up when they say they're going to show up?
Yeah, it's tough.
Even just get us a quote. Come to the house when you say you're going to come. So I don't know, have all of you guys been facing the same challenges we've been facing? Because we went through a few different people for our window coverings, and thank goodness we found someone. Thank you, Jeff and Katya, if you're watching, for recommending Jason. He is amazing. He showed up on time. He gave us a quote on time, and he already ordered the stuff. And this all happened like in 1 week. So right. I'm blown away.
So far.
Still
got to put it in.
I mean, he still has to show up with the product. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't get so excited.
Don't get too excited yet.
Dang, he likes to chop me down like on my high.
I'm just saying. I haven't seen anything yet.
I know.
Right? So I want to see it first. But I mean, that's a big problem. So being an agent, we get so many phone calls from our clients. Can you refer somebody? Can you recommend somebody? And we always do. We do our best to refer people until you can't refer them anymore.
Yeah, they get too busy or they just don't care. I don't know what it is.
But I've learned that it's the nature of that business, right? Because everybody wants like the most exceptional work done in their house, but they don't want to pay for it, right? And we've learned in the past, you kind of get what you pay for.
And sometimes you overpay.
Sometimes you overpay.
Let's just be real, because sometimes you think you're going to be blown away, and then you overpay, and you're like, what?
That's what it looks like?
Yeah.
So we're going through that all over again. We have people for everything, but this job is more like a contractor's job. We're thinking about, one, doing the conversion for the playroom into an office. It's a project, but it's not a major project. The major project we're thinking about doing is we have this empty loft space upstairs. I mean, it doesn't even bring in too much more light to our house. It's not
an empty loft space. It's just a vaulted ceiling, and it's like pointless.
Yes, I'm sorry. Empty vaulted ceiling space.
And your idea and your vision is to have some type of loft space, so it's usable.
Yeah, I kind of want a combination of things. So our bedroom closet is not big enough for Corey's clothes, let alone my clothes. I haven't been in that closet for years, right? It was like, I don't know, 6-7 years I haven't been in that closet. So then I was fine with it.
I gave you a whole rack last year. I cleared out a whole bottom rack.
Okay, prior to that.
You have been back in that closet for about, what month is it? For about 10 months.
Prior to that.
And all of his jackets are on the bottom. So yes, you have been back in that
prior
closet.
To that, I hadn't been in that closet for like 7 to 10 years.
So full of it.
I'm not. So then I had to use the guest bedroom. Okay, so I had my clothes in the guest bedroom. Then we have kids. So I got the eviction notice. I'm out of the kids' bedroom. So then I'm using the office, right? So I'm still in the office. You know, that's where all the suits and business stuff goes. And then just like the military, for any of our military folk out there, I pack my clothes like the military, like I'm going to get kicked out tomorrow. Like all my pants are rolled up and my shirts are rolled up. And I try to utilize every single square inch of space that we have to store clothes. So the idea is I'd love to open up the back of the master bedroom closet and have it open up into this huge space where I can put all my stuff that's in the office, because now that's going to be Santino or Nola's room. Don't know whose room that's going to be yet. And then also want to create a loft area so we could still have some work, like a workstation up there.
That would be great for the kids. So when they want to do their homework and whatnot, they can just go in there or play, or we can use it. As an office space. So looks like we have a few comments on here. Oh, Christian, let's do Tulum. Oh my gosh. So one of our friends just went there for her 40th and it looked amazing. Let's go. Need to go there.
Passports. You need to get on it.
Okay. I got to get on it. Get your passports ready, Christian and Jocelyn. Jocelyn's been wanting to go to Tulum for quite some time. So you need to make those dreams come true for her because she's a good girl.
But see, the problem though for Christian is Christian works for the man. Okay. And when you work for the man, you can only take off like 7 days.
Well, that's all you need in Tulum. You don't need anything longer than that.
Oh no, I'm not going anywhere for 7 days. If we're going, I'm staying for at least a couple weeks.
Okay.
So this guy, he could leave. We'll take care of everybody. He could go back to work. Maybe he could set him up there. Maybe he could work remotely.
Oh, that would be great.
Maybe
you could do a couple weeks.
We'll have to work on that, Christian.
And then Urvashi said she found a great contractor for built-in cabinets. Oh, we need his info. Can you please send it, his or her? I'm sorry, because we want to put in cabinets in the garage.
So I'm all about maximizing all the space that we possibly can. Thinking about getting a small shed for the side yard to get all our garden stuff out of the garage. Want to build the overhead storage for the garage. Want to do everything to maximize the space that we have. So that way we're also now regrouping and rethinking where we're going to move. So in the meantime, we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of all the space in our home. And it's going to be valuable to the next person in there when we go to rent it later.
Absolutely. So we're super excited about all these projects, but again, it's overwhelming. So we'll keep you posted on our progress. I have a feeling it's going to take some time, but it'll be really exciting. So we kind of had like a little bit of a Disney hangover.
A little?
Chris is irritated with Disney. Every time I bring up Disney, he just, I don't know. The look on his face.
It's not that I'm irritated. So my face always looks like this.
No, but there's a difference.
What do they call? They call it RBF for women. I'm like the RAF, right?
What is that?
Resting asshole face. Oh. Like I just look like this all the time. I really am happy down deep. I promise. I've had so many people ask me, and we've been together for 25 years, and you still ask me like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What's wrong?
Can't I just look like?
Can I just look like this?" So this is what I look like all the time, guys.
No, he'll say, "So are we going to Disneyland on Friday?" And I'm like, "No, we're not." Oh, thank God. I'm like, okay.
I was so happy that we weren't going to Disneyland. It's a lot of work. So I'm already dead all week long, right? Just working nonstop. I'm tired. And then when you go to Disneyland, the drive there sucks. It's 2 hours on the freeway. It's not fun. Nobody likes it. The kids are trying to pretend like they're asleep. They're trying their best to be asleep. They can't be. Then we get there. The excitement once you like get 10 miles away, which is another hour on the freeway, right? You're like, oh, Disneyland's right there. We passed Commerce Casino. No, you're not going to be there. It's another hour. So then we finally get there. And then we're like, all right, nobody's going to be here at this time. It's like 3:00. Wrong. You're waiting so when you pull into the parking structure, at the bottom parking structure, it's another 45 minutes to an hour before your feet cross the threshold of the park to get in any one of the parks. Because
the ticket booth.
Once you find a parking spot, which is not that hard, but you're probably driving all the way to the top, then we have a stroller. So we got to go in the elevator. The lines aren't as bad.
They used to be worse.
They used to be a lot worse because now they got more. They used to have one elevator back in the day. Now they don't. So then, all right, going to Disneyland. No, you're not. Bathroom time because we've been in the car for 2 hours. Kids are using the bathroom. That's another 20 minutes, right? And then now we got to walk. You know, hopefully you have a snack.
Security. You forgot security.
Security. So you go through security. But then hopefully you got a snack. I got my knee brace on. You know, I got the icy hot with me.
He just got started too.
And we haven't even stepped foot in Disneyland yet. And now I got another 30-minute walk to get there because the trams aren't open. So now you're walking. Oh my God. And that's before we get in. And now you get in and the kids, you know, luckily the kids are so cool.
They know.
We could kind of methodically go through Disneyland where we're not going back and forth like we're first timers there. We're kind of just hey, we're going to hang out in this section today so daddy doesn't have to walk all over the park.
Well, daddy takes breaks. Daddy chills, gets his beer in California Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
And while mommy takes him on Goofy Sky School, because daddy's back's going to be messed up on Goofy Sky School. So daddy chills over in the wharf area with his feet up, beer in hand.
Literally, my feet are up and I have a beer in my hand. And that's how I make it. That's how I cope with these Disneyland adventures because it takes a lot out of me physically to go to Disneyland now. And that's what happens when you're 40.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Somehow I get like this energy. It just comes out of nowhere. I'm tired, but I'm good. Let's go.
You got that Holy Ghost in you when we go to Disneyland.
It's that magic.
Yeah.
Tink just came and she's like this.
She sprinkled that little fairy dust on you.
I'm like, let's go. I'm ready. Anyways, so that's how Chris feels. He's a little burnt out, but guess what? We're going to Disneyland. We're going on Sunday, so that should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun because we're going to spoil the hell out of the kids. Even though it's Nola's birthday, you can't never just spoil one of your kids. Even if it's their birthday, you still got to take care of the other one too. So they get the benefits of being together.
Well, her biggest thing is she wants the little Doug baby. Doug from...
He's the dog from Up.
They're in like a little baby sack that she likes to carry. She loves those. So she wants Doug, and she wants the little button that says happy birthday on it.
Oh, does she want the button?
Her and Santino are really looking forward to that. That's like the highlight of their birthday visit.
How cool.
So they're really excited. And then I also booked dinner with the characters, which I'm hoping a few will show up.
They better show up.
The dining with the characters.
They better show up.
And so for a long time, they weren't showing up. So that's why I'm hoping they're going to be there. I've seen other people who have gone and the princesses show up. They're just at a distance. So
we'll they need to show up because we definitely don't go there for the food. The food's not amazing or anything. It's like I'm going to Sizzler or Soup Plantation. Like that's the quality of the food there. It's not that good.
Oh, well, hopefully it's better.
So I go there for the kids and the characters. So hopefully they show up.
Well, make sure that we have a beer waiting for you as soon as we get there.
Do they have them at that place?
It's in California Adventure, the one we're going to. Yes. So I'm glad he's excited and just mentioned the beer. Well, I'm going to have to get going very soon because I'm going to go pick up the kids. First, I start with Nola, and then I rush down the hill to get Santino from the other school. And then we get to do some homework today.
Yeah, we got to get all the stuff ready so we could celebrate on Friday without anything to do, right? So you're still prepping for. So here's a little peek into what Corey does all the time, right? Let alone with all the kid stuff, right? So Santino starts school at 8, got to be there at 7:30, and Nola starts school at 10:15, get there about 9:50, right? And then you're picking up at 2:00, right?
Nola gets out at 2:25.
2:25.
And Tino's at 2:45.
Right. So when you drop off Nola and you get home, it's about 10:30. And then when you pick up, you leave at 2:00 or 1:30, depending on where you are. So you have to be very efficient for 3 hours.
3 hours. It's like get home, start working, be as efficient as possible, which sometimes is challenging to just try to get into the groove of getting your work done, right?
Yeah, because you want to.
Because I come to my desk and my desk is terrible lately. Just stuff everywhere. I can't even focus. And so, okay, let me clean my desk. And then it's like 25 minutes later. Okay, now I got to get to work.
You're not the only one. I think it takes a lot of people. They have to get into that work mode and then they just burn time.
I know.
So
challenging.
Anyhow, you're going to go home, take care of the kids, got a plan for the party, got a plan for the event. Got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Looks like we had a few. Oh, we have another guest who joined us, Monica Villalobos. Hello. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. You're just in time. Hey, we gave you a shout out earlier on the cool mug that you made us, or a cup that you made me, and the Silver Realty ones. And so hopefully
VZ Crafts, right?
VZ Crafting. So hopefully you get some messages.
On IG.
So you can make some really cool things for people. And if anyone does buy anything from her, I want to see it. So share it with us.
Share it, post it.
So thank you everybody so much for joining us today on R&R Relationships and Real Estate. I'm your host, Corey Silva, and this is my amazing husband, Christopher Silva. We've loved having you guys here today and interacting with us. And we can't wait to see you next week for our next podcast.
So every Wednesday, 12 o'clock here on Facebook. Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Have a great rest of your week.